Next, we move to a cold case many of us who have lived here in the Bay Area will remember.
2 days after Christmas on 2011, a severed leg washed ashore in St. Pete. 3 months later, DNA evidence confirmed that leg belonged to 38-year-old Kelly Moriarty. No arrest has ever been made, and her girlfriend, Pat Carter, is still considered missing.
Tonight, I-Team investigator Kylie McGivern delves back into the nearly 12-year-old case, reviewing documents and talking with family members and law enforcement. This as the nonprofit group Project Cold Case works to bring awareness, offering hope where answers fail.
Just as you go off the Skyway Bridge, it's a little bay. I call it Kelly's grave. That's the only place I have to go. These are the stones that I pick up at the beach where Kelly's leg washed up.
Nearly 12 years ago, Grace Moriarty's daughter, Kelly, disappeared. A month later, Kelly's leg washed ashore, setting off waves of questions in a case that's gone cold.
A body part that washed ashore in St. Petersburg has now sparked a homicide investigation. They're trying to figure out how 2 women disappeared from the Bay Area just before Christmas.
I remember that particular Thanksgiving, Kelly told us that she wasn't able to come because she was going to spend Thanksgiving with Pat.
Doris Pat Carter, Kelly's 61-year-old girlfriend.
We were waiting for her to come for Christmas, but she didn't show up. It never occurred to me that there was anything wrong. Never.
His mom called Kelly a few times after the holiday. No response.
Her phone battery had died. So my mom at that point was pretty confident something was wrong.
Then they went to her apartment in Bradenton.
It was like a time capsule. The Christmas tree was up. The Christmas presents were still under the tree unwrapped.
The Moriarty family contacted the Bradenton Police Department to report her missing. 2 months later, the medical examiner in Pinellas County confirmed the leg belonged to 38-year-old Kelly.
Our detectives played a hunch and provided DNA samples to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and that hunch paid off.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the lead investigator in this case, because the last place she and her girlfriend were seen was at Pat's home in Plant City, December 16, 2011. Days later, on the side of State Road 62 in Manatee County, Kelly's car was found abandoned.
As far as closure, we will never, ever have closure.
Grace's husband, Bud, was his daughter's biggest advocate. Bud died 4 years ago. Grace kept up the calls to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, but never heard back.
I just wish somebody would tell me what's true and what isn't true.
We requested incident reports connected to Kelly and Pat and received a 17-page document totally blacked out. The reason? It's an active investigation.
That's all I do is think about it. But there's no answers.
Following Kelly's disappearance, suspicion fell on Pat's daughter and son-in-law who lived in her home.
We learned that there was an eviction order entered the day before both Kelly and Pat went missing.
Pat filed a complaint for unlawful detainer, meaning a judge was ordering Stacy Murrell and her husband to move out. Stacy still lives in the home. We left a message for Stacy.
I'm calling because I'm working on a story on the cold case with your mother's disappearance.
Then tried her at home to give every opportunity to talk.
It's emotionally.
She spoke with us for nearly half an hour, but would not agree to go on camera. She said she did not do anything to the Moriarty's daughter and doesn't know who did. Like the Moriarty family, she has felt forgotten, with no phone call from HCSO in years. Then, within the last couple months, after we began asking questions, 2 people from the sheriff's office came out. She told us several times how glad she is that HCSO is looking into the case again. HCSO says under its new cold case unit, they have not named anyone as a suspect or person of interest on this case. For more than a month, we requested an interview with the detective who had been the lead investigator on the case, or anyone in the new cold case unit.
Is there a reason one of the current detectives or the detective from the past was not able to speak with us directly on this case?
If we have to take them away from their desk to do an interview like this, then it only takes away their time to be able to solve these cases.
The only person granted an interview, a spokesperson.
And we have spoken with the Moriarty family, and they say that they personally have not received any sort of update or call back in years. What does the sheriff's office want them to know?
We have not stopped working. We have not forgot about your loved ones. I can tell you that I stopped by the cold case unit today, and it was sitting on the desk of one of our detectives.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office tells us they tested evidence in 2014 and 2016 with negative results. 7 years ago, HCSO presented the case to the International Homicide Investigators Association. HCSO also contacted the FBI. In 2017, St. Pete police again searched in the Bay. And in 2021, HCSO resubmitted DNA evidence. Still no matches. We brought that information to the Moriarty family.
I told them, I said, I don't know if the family knows all of these steps
No,
were
I
taken
didn't.
over the years.
I didn't.
In the meantime, Grace Moriarty holds on to the dated stones, resting beside her daughter's cremains.
Somebody has to know something.
And Kylie joins us now in the studio with all the latest advancements in DNA technology. I would imagine the families aren't losing hope just yet.
They aren't. I mean, we've done stories where it's like 30 years later and they are able to crack some of these cases. Also, they're hoping just the power of putting this story back in the public spotlight, that someone maybe does know something or someone is comfortable saying more than they had in the past. You just never know. And so the thing that they have to hold on to is hope.
Yeah, it's really great, though, that you are bringing awareness now, and maybe somebody out there might remember just something, anything,
Yes.
that might change the outcome of this and finally close this cold case.
You
Thank
hope.
Yeah.
You really hope so.
And again, Kylie, thank you. Meanwhile, again, the Moriarty family is now offering a $10,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. So if you know anything, please call the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office at 813-247-8200. You can also leave an anonymous tip by calling Crime Stoppers at 1-800-873-TIPS.